Hey everybody, it's Dr. Heather Hammerstedt from Holist. I'm here today on this Wednesday Wellness Wednesday, to talk to you a little bit about fact claiming and figuring out who in the health and wellness kind of trends and claims are accurate, and how you can figure some of that out on your own, and how to ask the right questions and follow up with the right people, because we know there's a ton of misinformation out there. The thing is that we all want to be natural, right? Like, we don't want to take medicines if we don't have to. We don't want to go to the doctor if we don't have to. We feel like natural things are going to be better for us than taking things that are synthetic. And that's not necessarily wrong. I'm a big believer in real food. I'm a big believer in real botanical skincare. I'm a big believer in kind of health and alternative and complementary treatments to be in addition to the team of conventional providers that are taking care of you. I also worry, though, because as you guys know, there's no regulation around any of this kind of wellness stuff, and there's a lot of information out there in the media and a lot of people making a lot of money. I know a couple of things that I can say right now is that, look at the Goop stuff, look at the Oz controversies, the Alec Jones stuff that's been happening, and then that Australian Gibson who basically lied about having cancer and made tons of money and is now paying it all back. But I think there's a lot of issues with kind of trust of our conventional medical system, and one of the things that I really want to do is to make sure that we as patients and doctors get to know each other a little better, so that we can, get rid of some of those trust issues. You realize that we're real people and we want to help. We may have our specialties and may need help helping you figure that out, but I think there's a way to do it. So, questions to ask. If there is a health trend or wellness trend, kind of where do you go for help? What questions do you ask? And this isn't just kind of the Goop wellness stuff I'm talking about. It's even the misinformation in the media about the carfentanil overdoses. That was mass hysteria that everybody just believed. Additionally, the dry drowning stuff is just totally not true. So there's questions on both, health and wellness around this. So, are there human studies? Do they do something on 5 animals that are this big? What's the sample size of that study? Was that study recent, right? So that's if there are studies. I think that's really important. I think it's really important to ask, is this information that I'm getting, is it sponsored by somebody? Is it basically an advertisement? Are they claiming something is anti-something, or is it a cure, or are they saying it's preventative or protective? I would feel better about preventative and protective things than claiming anything is going to be cured. Is there an expert that's well respected, that's still practicing in that field, that is credentialed, that is standing up for this? That's something that you can believe in. If it's a website, you have to look for kind of who's paying for the website, what the purpose of the website is, what the original source for that is, what that content looks like. Does it seem like it's accurate? Are there links for you to review? Is it basically just collated data is another thing, or collated information and not necessarily anything that's new? Again, all of these kind of wellness and health claims that you're seeing that are unregulated can really say anything that they want. The only thing, people who can't really are people who are licensed medical providers or ancillary practitioners, which seems crazy to me because we're the ones with the knowledge, but we're much more regulated than everyone else. So what are the regulating bodies? There's the US FDA. They do basically food claims and product labels. The FTC does basically consumer protection around supplements and advertising and claims. And then the NIH and the ODS do research. And so those are 3 places that you can look for information. Additionally, the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health is a fantastic resource. It's the National Institute of Health, so NIH.gov, and that is the NCCIH portion of that. And there are sections in there on safety info, know the science, clinical practitioner's guide, and literature review. And it's a really terrific resource, whether you're in science or not, just to go look at. Additionally, finding a doctor, and I talked about this week, who is trained as an integrative medicine physician, so finished whatever their medical school was, finished whatever their residency was in, and then did an additional fellowship in integrative medicine, they have learned how to coordinate all of these people together from different alternative and complementary services, and they also know what the evidence is behind each of those things. So I think that is a really great option for you, whether that person's going to be just a consultant or whether it's going to be your primary care. Speaking of the integrative fellowship, one of the most well-known and long-standing one is the University of Arizona Integrative Medicine Fellowship. I have a bunch of colleagues and friends who train there. That's run by Dr. Andrew Weil. You probably know who he is. He's like that. He's got that big giant white beard. So his website is a really terrific source of resources as well, drweil.com, drweil.com. And then another option for you is Healthline. And by the way, I don't have any ties to any of these places that I'm sending you to. Healthline they have a website. They have tons of information. It's pretty well vetted. I've been reading it for about a year now, and I think there's only been maybe a half a dozen articles that I disagreed with, and they have dozens come out every day, and they have some good nutrition information in there and kind of other topics like that for you to look at. So I hope that's helpful. The summary is nothing is regulated. You can have a health coach that has never had really any training and calls himself a health coach. You can have a life coach that calls themselves a life coach without any training. They can say anything they want. These supplements are not regulated. Most of the complementary treatments are not going to be regulated unless it's massage, acupuncture, hypnotherapy, traditional Chinese medicine. Those folks are certified. So you just have to be careful, and you have to ask questions, and don't just assume that because something's natural that it's going to be safe for you, because it may not be. And with that, I am going to head home and go to bed for the day and turn it all over for another night shift tonight. And happy Wellness Wednesday, and it's always great chatting with you guys. Bye.